The Model Shop live scale modeling show is brought to you by Tenna Controls, makers of lighting kits, soundboards, and more. Tenna Controls brings your models to life. Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 94 of the Model Shop. I'm your host, Boyd Crompton, coming to you live from our shop here in San Antonio, Texas. We got another nice rainy week here. I hope you guys are high and dry where you're at. It's been really almost flooding conditions around here. We're lucky we're on high ground where I live here, but the rest of the city's been having some real issues this last week, and it's still raining here tonight. But we're going to rock on with the show anyway. We've got some cool stuff to show you guys tonight. We're going to show you the Lockheed Electra that we've been working on. I finally got this put together, and we're going to be on the bench tonight doing the decal application and getting this model finished up. We had to redo this kit like we talked about a couple weeks ago. We had the paint issue on it, so we got another kit in here. You can see this is the updated box art from Williams Brothers versus the old kit that we showed you that we did the review on quite a while back. Otherwise, the kits are exactly the same, and had a lot of fun putting this together. Here's a look at the back panel on this. You can build the plane in a couple more different versions than you could with the original kit. That they give you some extra decals, and we'll show you a little bit of those when we're working on it on the bench. And we also got all of our AMT Ertl Star Trek figures finished up this week. I finished up with Scotty, and we're going to show you a reveal of how they all came out here tonight. Had a lot of fun working on those, and I'll be doing quite a few more figures coming up here in the future. I ordered a few more vinyl kits in, and of course we're working on a couple figures for Halloween this year. Nice to see all of you people over at the Model Shop page working on your Halloween kits already for our Halloween build this year. So looks like we're going to have a great turnout for that, seeing some really cool stuff over there. So keep it coming, guys. Still plenty of time before Halloween, but you know it'll be here pretty quick. So if you want to join in on that, hopefully you will. Just grab yourself a simple little kit. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Just a little figure or a little model car or something like that, or whatever you feel like doing. And join in on the fun, guys. It'll be cool to work on those together. And of course, we're going to put together a nice slideshow for our Halloween show this year of all the models, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to take a quick break here, guys, and come right back, and then we're going to be on the bench. Actually, we're going to show you the reveal of the Star Trek figures first, and then after we do that, we're going to go over to the bench, and tonight's show will be focused on getting the Lockheed Electra finished up. So we'll see you with that in just a couple seconds, everybody. Be right back. Okay, everybody. Well, as you can see, the crew just beamed in. These are the original AMT Ertl Star Trek figures that we started working on. I had a lot of fun working on these. I'm really happy with how they turned out. You can see since the last show, we completed Scotty, got him all done up there, got his little uh, whatever that tool is he's working with, some kind of engineering tool, put some little paint detail on that. I'll swing the camera towards him in just a second and get you a little bit of a closer look, but I'm really happy with how these guys turned out. I learned a lot working on them. As I said, I was not very good at figure painting as far as faces and things like that, so I went around and did a lot of looking at YouTube videos and taking advice from people, and I kept improving as I went through each one of the figures, and had a lot of fun with these, and I'll be doing a lot more figures in the future. It's a really fun genre, part of the model building hobby, and there's so many cool ones out there. Just having a look around at all the different kits that are available, there's some really cool stuff, so you'll see some more of it in the future. I went back also after our last, as I talked about here, and I did some surgery on Captain Kirk. He was too tall. He was almost a quarter of an inch taller than the rest of the figures there. And what I noticed was that the distance between like his ankle here and the top part where his cuff of his pants was a lot longer than all the other figures here. And that's where they had the extra length in the figure. And I just thought it made him look too lanky and too tall that way. So I did some surgery on him. I went and took my hobby knife and just cut it off, cut the boots off right below the cuff of the pants there. And I wound up taking almost a quarter of an inch almost off the top of the boots, and then I just glued it all back together and repainted it, and you can see he looks really good now. He looks a whole lot better. It really improved the appearance, and he's more in line now with the correct height that he should be with the rest of these figures, so that makes a big difference. So if you get one of the Captain Kirk kits, you might want to think about doing that little modification. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. Like I said, we learned a lot about painting faces. I went around and looked at people's videos and took some advice from experienced figure painters out there, and I kept improving as I went through, and I've really enjoyed this whole experience. And this is going to make a really cool little display when I get it all set up in my model room in there. I'll have to find a nice place to put these guys, but I'm really happy with it. Let's swing over here a little bit and we'll get you a little bit closer look at Scotty. And you can see that he's definitely a little bit more portly than the rest of the other guys, but he was a little bit on the show originally. And he's nice. He's got a nice likeness on his face there. Got the little engineering tool there. And, we mixed the color up for his shirt and did his little engineering badge there on his shirt and everything, and got some shading on his face and all that. And like I said, I'm really happy with how all these guys turned out. We'll just kind of pan real slow here and give you a look at all their faces a little bit closer up. And like I said, these are really fun to work on. And I had a look around on the internet, and these kits are still readily available. You can find these for anywhere from $10 to $15 on eBay and Amazon in the original boxes and everything still. So if you're a fan of the original series and you like these figures, you can easily get them. And as has been mentioned, there's some aftermarket heads that are available. Although I'm pretty happy with the heads that these came with. After you get them all put together and you paint them and everything, they look pretty good. I'm not upset at all. Like I said, I've seen some far worse likenesses of these characters on action figures and stuff. So these aren't bad at all. And I think that with the detail painting you can do and everything on them, they actually look better than action figures when you get them all done. They look really cool. And they're, like I said, they're just really, really fun to work on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this whole build series that we did here for you on the show. Nice little tribute to the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, the original series. And like I said, I'm really happy to have these guys. And if you guys have any questions about how we did these or anything, just drop a line on the comment section of this video, and we'll be happy to answer them for you if we can. But they're pretty straightforward, like we showed here. Just a little cutting, a little heating, some careful painting and everything like that. They go together really, really nice. So again, a lot of fun on these guys. Okay, we'll wrap this little segment up here and come back with you in just a couple more seconds, guys. Be right back. Okay, everybody, well, here we are on the bench with our work for tonight. We're going to be working on this, finishing up our Williams Brothers 1/53rd scale Lockheed Electra. We're doing this one as Amelia Earhart's airplane, and I got the model all put together this week and got it painted. We used we actually went back and used Alclad Chrome this time. Our duplicolor that we tried on the first model that we had the problem with didn't didn't want to dry very well, so it's been really, really humid around here lately in this area. We've been getting a lot of rain and stuff, so I think that was part of the problem. But we've got the all clad on here, got it all dried up. Everything's been put together on it. It's turned out really nice. So we're really going to make it pop now by putting these beautiful decals on. We've got these bright red markings and the plane's ID number and everything we've got to get put on here. So we're going to start out with it right now. We're going to go ahead and put the, I think we're going to start off with the one that goes on the top of the tail here first. So I'm going to start cutting everything out and get it going here, guys. I'm having a lot of fun with this kit. As I talked about when we first did the review on this kit well, probably about a month ago now, I didn't think Williams Brothers was in existence anymore, but they actually are. They have a Facebook page, and their kits are available over at squadron.com. And I actually got this kit at HobbyLink USA. Squadron was out of stock, but so we got the kit over there, and got here really quick. I think it was around $28, something like that. So it was a good price. And so you can find their kits out there. They've got a really nice assortment of vintage airplane kits that are available if you're interested in those older airplanes. So I've got my paper towel here ready. We got a little bit of water on this. We'll just let it soak a little bit, and we'll start laying these down. Again, this should really make this thing pop when we get these bright colors on here. Got quite a few markings to put on it. We've got to put that one on. We've got to put the ones for the wings, the big ID numbers here. There's some small Lockheed decals, the tail number, a couple other little small decals, a couple decals for the propellers. So it'll take us just a little bit here, but this will be a lot of fun working on this. You can see I got it mounted on a nice little Polar Lights base. It's one of those bases that can swivel and all that. I've got the antenna wire on the tail section there. You can see I used some of this nice Easy Line for that, which I did a review on this here a couple of weeks ago on the show. This is some really good stuff. It's a string, but it's actually an elastic string, and it doesn't fray or anything like that, or get fuzzy over time like a lot of the thread used to do that we used on models for doing this kind of detail. And being that it's elastic like that, you can stretch it a little bit. It doesn't have much tension on it at all, so it doesn't put a lot of pressure like on the radar or on the antenna mast here, and where it's attached. So it's really, really easy to apply. Just a tiny little spot of CA glue, and it's good to go. Okay, we're going to turn this thing around here so we can get a good angle and get ready to put our decal down. Not sure how long this is going to take before it'll start breaking free here. These decals, it says, are custom printed by Champion Graphics, which I've never heard of them before, but hopefully they're good quality. I have the original set of decals left over from the first kit too, in case anything goes wrong. These actually feel like they're pretty thick. Don't feel it breaking loose yet. So it looks like these are going to be slow to break loose. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to go ahead and cut out these other ones and get them soaking ahead of time so we don't have to wait too long here. And these are die cut, so you don't have to be precise on your cutting with these. Okay, get this one a little bit trimmed down here. Okay, that's the big one for the wing. Kind of wraps around the leading edge of the wing there, so hopefully it fits good. Get that one soaking. Now you notice I'm not dipping these in water. I used to do it that way, but I don't really do it that way anymore. But I've had a few times where I forgot and left the decal in there, and it broke free, and it caused me a big headache. So the way I do it now is just a little bit of water on them with my pump spray bottle there, and after a few minutes they break free and we're ready to go. We'll see how these lay down too. I may have to use a little bit of decal setting solution. There's some rivets detail on the surface of the model here that might give us a little trouble. But I have some Walthers Solvaset, so we'll see if we have to use that or not. We should find out here in just a little bit. Get this one soaking here. I could just put them outside if I needed to. We've had tons and tons of rain here. I haven't seen that much rain around in this part of the country in a long time, especially at this time of the year. That's why we've had all the humidity. My paint's all been drying slow and everything. There's our big wing number. We got one that goes on the top and one on the bottom. Interesting that these fonts are the same that you see on the USS Enterprise, the classic Enterprise, which is a classic military font. Okay, so got that one there. Let's check our tail here and see if this one's starting to come free yet. There we go. Well, good thing we have a spare, guys. I just cracked that one. They seem like they're kind of brittle. I'm going to see how it'll lay down on there anyway, and if I can slide it together, and if it's okay, we'll go with it. If not, I've got a spare. When you get a problem like that with your decal, just be patient and keep working with it, and you can usually fix it if it doesn't completely disintegrate. Yeah, that went back together just fine, so we're not going to worry about that. Just have to be a little bit more careful. Okay, I've got my paper towel, and I'm just going to tamp it down a little bit here. They're going to be, you know what, guys? I'm not liking it all of a sudden here. It's kind of a little tiny piece cracked off of it, so it's leaving a bare silver spot. So unfortunately, we lost that one. But as I said, we've got a spare here, and you can see these crack pretty easy. They're coming apart, so I'm going to have to be really careful with these. Okay, I'm going to grab my spare set. Hopefully my microphone will reach. And get these. You can see I had the set from the original kit that we started on that we had the paint issue with. I'm just looking to see. Okay, these are printed by Microscale, different brand. So we'll see what we get with these. Alright, we'll start this one soaking. These things do happen in modeling, guys. Things don't always go perfect. Like I said, just be patient and work with it. Like I said, fortunately here we're lucky that we had a extra set. If I didn't, I would have been, you know, tried harder there to save that, and we probably would have been able to save it. And then if I had a little spot there, I could make up some, let it dry and mix up some matching color and just take my paint and just touch up a little spot on there to hide that. It was just a tiny little speck that broke off there that you could see the silver showing through, and since I'm really picky, it just would have bugged me. But anyway, we'll see how this one goes. It looks to me like these two colors are just a little bit different here too. I think what we're going to do is we'll see how this one goes here, and we might go ahead and use the other wing markings off of the other set too. I'm going to cut those out just in case. They may be good and they may be bad. We'll find out here in just a second. I definitely have heard of Microscale before. And I think they're a pretty reputable brand. Get these cut out all the way. You can see I've got my decal placement guide here that came with the kit. That one ready to go. Okay, let's get these wetted down. Put some more water back on the top here. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you can see that these are just a slight little bit of, they're a little bit more bright red than the other ones are, so we'll give these other ones a chance here. Not quite free yet. Getting there. Just gonna have to be a little bit more patient this time. They look like they're fairly thick. Oh, I just cracked that one too. Well, we're dealing with some pretty brittle decals here, guys. Yeah, we're going to have to be really careful and just let that, I'm going to put that piece on that came loose. I don't think we're going to have that problem on the small decals, but these big ones, going to have to be really careful because we don't have any more left after this. Oh, you can see this one broke without even being touched here. Yeah, these are brittle. I probably should have sprayed these down with some of our stuff, lacquer. If you get decals, sometimes what you can do is you can spray down some clear lacquer over the top of them, and that will make them a little less resistant to tearing or disintegrating. Okay, we've got this one that needs to go on, so we're going to go ahead and put this one on while we're waiting. It's free. Just looking at the guide to see where it's supposed to go. A little bit of water on the wing there. Oop. Looks like it's supposed to line up with that. Yep, it's right on that line of rivets. Part of it extends over onto the aileron. Okay, we'll get this dried off. Looks like I've got it placed right. They're sucking down on there pretty good, guys. They're laying down. I can see all the rivet detail coming back. So that's good. Okay, let's try the rest of this one now. Yep, she's free now. We just have to give them plenty of time, guys. We can't get ahead of ourselves here. That's trying to do it too fast. Yeah, that adds some nice color to the plane, makes it pop. Really like it. Our tear worked out pretty good this time. It doesn't show at all. Okay, let's check this one a little bit more here. And it's laying down on there pretty flat. Like it. Okay, now let's check these. Okay, they appear to be free. Oh, broke the little corner of it off. Boy, that's really going to be something here. Okay, I'm going to go real careful. Let me get these decals out of the way. Brittle they are. This kind of, it's got like a split on the end and it's supposed to fold over. I'm going to work on the top first here a little bit. Oh man, it cracked right off. Yep, cracked just like that. It's okay, it didn't hurt it. Put it back in place. Get rid of my excess water here first. They are laying down very well. That's one thing I'll say about them. But they are brittle, guys. All right, go to the bottom now and see what I've got going on down here. looks good on the bottom. Just gonna get these flattened out just a tiny little bit more here up on the top. Okay, it's got a couple wrinkles in it, but I think it's going to settle down when we let it sit just a little bit, and I'm going to give it a little time, and then we're going to go over that with our Walthers. Get that one put back on there on the corner. Okay, delicate operation here, guys. All right, let's try the other side now. Hit this with a little bit more water. Give it a chance to work a little bit. It's just right in the middle. It's not free yet, so we're just going to have to be patient here. Let's go ahead and get our little tail numbers going. Oops. Get all this other old stuff out of the way. It's going to look good, guys. We'll pull it out. We'll pull it out of the fire. Yep, like I said, you just keep, you just stay patient and keep on working with it. Don't get mad. Don't get frustrated. Things happen. And just start, if something seriously goes wrong, just start thinking about what you can do to fix it. Like I said, if we got a serious problem with these decals, I'll mix up some paint and do a little touching up on it here and there in the red area. But so far, so good. These little Lockheed insignias, and then I saw these little, there's some of these little kind of strange little markings that go on the side of the fuselage here. Get those out of there. And then we've got some propeller decals. Hamilton Standard Propeller Company. There were more decals included by far on this other sheet, as you could see. So we've got some nice leftover Army Air Corps roundels that we'll use for something in the future. So we'll always save your old decals, but you can see this small sheet here compared to this big one. You get a chance to build several different versions of the airplane with this newer kit. Get those going. Cut out our little propeller decals. I'd like to have a little decal for the base that said Amelia Earhart Around the World Flight 1937 or something like that. That would have been pretty cool. Maybe I can get Jerry to make me something on that a little bit later. We'll see. Okay, let's check this one again now and see how we're doing here. Okay, got a little tiny tear right there, but we'll deal with it. Both of the tips tore off, but we can put them back on. stuck on my finger there. Okay. Top looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see them settling down the more they dry. They're sticking down on the top of the surface here real well. All right, let's check the bottom. Looks great. I gotta get this little tip put back on there. Okay. Sorry if I'm off the camera, guys. Had to get an up close look at it there. Yep. Brittle is the word on these guys. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's try to get away from it and not disturb it now. Okay, so let's go back here to the tail. Checking our guide here, we've got... Let me get these propeller decals soaking here. I forgot to do those. Okay, the tail number goes on the rear part on the rudder, and the Lockheed logo goes up here towards the front. So let's see if we can get these on there okay. I'm having a real problem with these sticking to my fingers here. Get some water on there. Okay, let's try this again. Let me grab my tweezers in here. Okay. It's being stubborn. Go. Now all we got to do is make sure it's straight. Okay, that looks good. Now we've got our little Lockheed logo. Cool looking little logos. When you know it, it's stubborn and hardly ever doesn't want to move around, and you barely bump it and it almost comes completely off. There, got that grouping on there. Happy with that. Okay, let's go to the other side here. Decals brings your models to life. So does the Tenant Controls lighting kits, like their slogan says, but I always really enjoy putting the decals on. It's kind of the finishing touch. There, got those on straight. Look good. So far so good, guys. We're managing to save this. See just a little wrinkle on the leading edge here I'm trying to fix on this one. They're laying down pretty good though. Not bad. Okay. So now we've got these little guys right here that go right up in this area right here. Not sure what they're supposed to be, if they're hatch covered little details or what they are, but they call for them going right on right here. And they're spaced apart about 1 panel length. It's going to be hard to get in there. Get a little squirt of water on that, and that'll help things here. Okay. All right. You can barely see them, but they're there. They don't show up real good on that bright chrome. Gotta keep watching out for my antenna wire there. You can barely see that too. All right, let's get rid of this little... Okay, so we got most of those on there now. One thing I'm not liking too much is I see a lot of film on the top of the wing here where this one is. Now it looks pretty good straight on, but when you look at it at an angle, it's got a lot of film around it. So what I might wind up doing here, guys, is I might get rid of that one, and I might cut these out individually and put them on there. That'll help them look better, because I've got an extra set here. Let me see. Okay, we've got our little propeller decals. Let's go ahead and get those on there while we're thinking about what we're going to do next. Let's see if those are free yet. Yep, ready to go. These go parallel with the blade, or do they go across the blade? Pretty sure they go across the blade. That. Have to get a little bit closer here, folks. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. Just broke that one right in half. We can still save it. I think it's got to be turned around here. I think it's upside down. Need something sharper here to get at it. Let's try this. Oh, more pieces, guys. I think I better quit while I'm ahead here. There we go. We got that one looking pretty good. Okay. So the last one to do is the big ID number on the bottom of the wing that's just like this one on the top. But like I said, I'm not liking that too good. I think I'm going to go ahead and get that back off. We'll take a quick break here, and I'm going to cut these up into individual letters, and then we're going to go ahead and reapply them like that. I think it'll help it look a little bit better, because I just don't like that. It's really showing up pretty bad. Okay, guys, be back with you in just a second. Okay, everyone, back with you again. And just during the break there, I was trying to do a little experimenting here with these just to see how they're going to work out. And it's looking much better now. So we're just laying these on here. individually now. I just cut them out and putting them down. We're going to have to take our time here, but getting rid of that excess film, this is looking a lot better. I'm really a lot happier with it, and it's worth the extra time it's going to take to do it this way. Lucky thing I've got a nice line of rivets here to work with where we can keep everything straight. Keep it straight and keep the spacing fairly equal there. Now using this other film too, I mean these other decals, I think it's the film itself. It's because I'm looking at the center of them where I didn't cut them out and it's not showing up. So I think on the bottom wing, since you can't see it that much anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put that on all in one piece. I think it'll look all right. Down to the last one here. I think it was just the film itself on that other set of decals. It was it had a kind of a weird yellowish or goldish tinge to it that you could see on the film. I just didn't like it. Okay, we got those down there, so it's time to get rid of our water here. Straightening them back out just a little bit. Our R is just a little bit off. Okay, folks, I'm happy with that. I think. And there you can see it. Looks good. They're spaced all pretty well, and yeah, that was definitely worth the extra time to do that. They look a whole lot better. But, like I said, I think we're going to go ahead and put them all on one piece on the bottom side here, as I think it was mainly just the film that was looking kind of bad there. And we won't see the bottom very much. This isn't a model I'm going to be taking to a show. It's not perfect. I built it kind of fast, but it'll look really nice on my little display room in there with all the other cool stuff. It is coming down like cats and dogs again outside, guys. I can hear it. Lots of rain around here. If anybody needs any rain, we'll be glad to send you some. We're starting to get too much. Let me get this soaked real good. Just about at the end here, guys. I know it gets kind of boring watching some of this stuff, but it's got to be done. And we're going to go over on this side over here. Yep, just like that. Okay. So anyways, like I was saying, guys, I had a lot of fun putting this kit together. It's been a blast. You know, it builds out really nice, and for the money, it's not bad at all. Really think it's a great little kit, and unfortunately, there aren't any, you know, larger scale models of the Electra. If you want to do Amelia's plane, this is it. I saw some on eBay. I saw some wooden desktop models that were already built, but who wants those? You know, we want to build our own models, but you know, maybe someday, especially if any big news comes out, if they happen to find Amelia's plane, you know, they're going to go out there and look for it again on that island, Gardner Island, next summer is what I'm hearing. So you never know. If they make a big discovery or something like that, it could bring up the you know, attention and excitement about it, and maybe somebody will put out a kit. We can always hope. Okay, let's get rid of all this stuff here. But overall, I'm really, really happy with it anyway. It still looks really cool. Now, unfortunately, with our all-clad here, I'm not going to be able to put any kind of a sealer over top of my decals. So the model will just be as is, and hopefully it'll, you know, sitting in my room like it does. I've got a special filter on our central air system here at the house, so it doesn't really get any dust in there at all. It's a, I forgot what it's called, a HEPA filter or whatever it is, so we don't get any kind of dust in there, not anything like we used to. We had that all replaced last year, and no one goes in that room very much, so it won't get all that dusty, and it won't get touched or anything, so I think it's going to be just fine. I'm not going to worry about it, because I'll lose that nice finish if I put any kind of top coat on this. Now, I'm hearing out there from a few of the guys that there are some of these types of paints that give you this chrome finish that actually come with their own clear coat sealer that you can put on that doesn't take away that luster. So I'm going to start trying some of those, and I'll report back to you guys what I find on some of that stuff, because I plan on doing, we've got this really cool little P-38 Mustang kit that we're going to be doing here down the road, and I want to do that in that bright polished look, and I want to have a really, really nice job on that one. So we'll figure out something in the meantime that works really good so we can seal the decals up next time on that one. Let's see if these are ready to move yet. Yep, all good. Okay, so go ahead and get our last one put on here, guys. I'm going to just slide it on there real careful. I can't lay the plane down because I got my antenna on the top, so I'm going to have to do this the hard way. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely that film on that other stuff, the other decals, because it's not showing up bad at all now. You can't even see it, so that'll save us a little bit of work. It's pretty cool here. They got actual real rubber for the tires and stuff on this too. It's pretty cool. Okay, there you can see our bottom number. Got that on there nice and straight, lined up with the, actually I think it needs to, let's see. Nope, it's farther forward just like that. Okay. The bottom one doesn't overlap on the aileron like it does on the top, so we're right. Get rid of our last little bit of water there. Let's give her a quick little cleanup and we'll show you the final thing here, guys. Save that one for something later, just in case ever need any of those type of numbers. Pretty neat. I think that's cool that they're the same font as the Star Trek Enterprise numbers. That's pretty neat. Okay. They're laying down very nice, though. What I'll do, guys, is after I'm done with the broadcast tonight, I'm going to give these a chance to mellow out for a little while, and I'll just lightly brush some Walther's Solvaset over the top of this, and that way they'll suck down on there really, really good. But you can see that brought her to life quite a bit. I'm really happy with that, and we've got this kind of swiveling action that we can do with it. Change the flight pose a little bit here and there. Turned out to be a really cool little model. So like I said, guys, if you're an Amelia Earhart fan or just a fan of the classic Lockheed Electra, you can get this kit at several different places. Like I said, HobbyLink USA was the cheapest place I found it at. A little over like $27, something like that, with shipping. They were just a little bit more over at Squadron, but they were temporarily out of stock at Squadron, so they may have them back in stock by now. It said they were, the note on there said they were going to be coming back in stock soon. But so there you go, guys. You can find these kits out there. Great little kit, nice little tribute to Amelia Earhart, and hopefully maybe I'll find something to put on the base here a little later. I'd like to have it say Amelia Earhart or something on there, so when people just looked at it, they'd know what it was if they weren't familiar with it. So that'd be pretty cool. Okay, we're going to take another quick break, guys, and come back with the next segment of our show. Be right back, everyone. Got to remember that microphone button. Okay, guys, back with you again. Well, you can see that was quite an adventure with our Lockheed Electra. That just shows you that a little bit of patience will persevere for you guys. Don't get frustrated when you have issues like that going on. You know, we put so much work into that model, and actually that was the second kit that we went through. You know, we had the paint issue on the first one, so, you know, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to give up on it this time, and we made it through. I had this has been a couple hours later now, and you can see we've got the Electra. I've got the it's been done with some Walther's Solvaset now on these decals, and you can see hopefully here on the camera that they laid down nice and flat, and you can see the rivet detail coming through on the you know, on the red area of the wings and all that, and maybe you can see it here on the tail if I tilt it just right. But so yeah, it all came out really good in the end here. It looks really nice. And we had a lot of fun working on this one. So like I said, if you're a fan of the Lockheed Electra in general, if you want to do a nice Amelia Earhart airplane, that kit's out there, and it's a really nice little kit. You know, it's Doesn't fit perfectly. I had to do a lot of putty work on it, and there's a little bit of flash on the parts. Seemed like there was more flash on the newer kit than there was on the original release, but nothing that won't clean up, and it'll come out really nice if you just take your time with it. So we got that one wrapped up. What we're going to do next, for starting on next week's show, dust it off a little bit here, is we picked this kit here a while back. This is the Polar Lights Speed Racer Mach 1 or Mach 5. I almost called it the Mach 1. That'd be a cardinal sin. This is the Mach 5 from the original Speed Racer TV show. You can see we got the cool pictures of it here on the back. It's got some neat details. It's got the engine there. And it's got the little remote control bird that comes out of the hood. Even the little jack stands and everything. So we're going to start on this kit next week. And then we'll probably get started on the 007 Little Nelly, the little gyrocopter that we talked about a while back too. We've got those kits. So those will be the next two in line. And then we'll pick out something else out after that as we move along. So we've got plenty of kits to build around here, that's for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed what we had on the bench tonight, and going back to the Star Trek figures, again, had a lot of fun building those. And, those kits are out there. I was looking around on eBay, and you can find those for around 10 or 15 bucks in the original boxes still, so they're still really affordable and easy to find. So I hope you guys will build some of those too. They're great kits. All right, everybody. Well, it's time to head over to our shout-outs and our Q&A for tonight's show. Let's head over there now and see who's here tonight. I'll roll up to the top. And let's see. We've got Modeler X here with us tonight. Armando with DLC Model Builders. T Commando. Mike Kovach. Charles Forbin. Mark Buchholz. Chris G. Kenny with Mindless Model Works. Nice to see you, Kenny. Loved how your 57 Chevy kit turned out. I'm going to try to snag one of those kits here. I love that kit after seeing how you worked on it and how it looks when it's done. I've been trying to grab one off of eBay, but those darn things are expensive. And hopefully I'll grab one sooner or later here. Let's see. We got Kenneth Zimmerman, Leona Timber Company, Gary M., Benny Gilardi, Alpha Trion 92, Red Shirt Forever, Omar, T Commando, Outsider 238, Dadnator 24, Mike Morgan, The Captain, Federation Shipyard, nice to see you, Dennis, Kenneth Zimmerman, Alpha Trion 92, Aussie Trekkie, B. Tilly, Modeler X, Stephen Baker, Adam Corville, nice to see you, Adam. Randy Gagliano, Phil Connor, Jim Clark, Thomas Covert, Perry Love, Outsider 238, Brian Knowles, Red Shirt Forever, Shannon Freeman, Dan Harris, Chuck Brooks, George Wachowski, Doug Schramm, Michael Haston, Phil Connor, Roger Ball. Tagamo Model Works, nice to see you in here. Tag. James Frost, eBiker56, nice to see you, James. Big Stats. Robert Morris. Okay, I think I'm down at the bottom. Anybody that's out there watching or in the chat, just type something in there and we'll give you a shout out if we see your name pop up. Calvin Sweet just checked in. Frankie goes to Hollywood. Hobbywood. Nice to see you back. He says he's able to join us live this evening for the first time in a while. Good to have you with us, Frankie. Yeah, some of you guys are commenting about those decals. Yeah, they were quite a battle, but you know, like I said, you stick with it, and you know, you can usually save them if you have an issue like that happen. I saw some of the comments during the broadcast there. The water I was using was just regular cold water. I don't think warm water was going to help. I think these decals were just painfully brittle, guys. They were cracking without even touching them. So if you get that kit, be aware of that. Spray them down with some of that, you know, clear lacquer before you use them, and you probably avoid all of that. Ron Mac 95, Gabriel Sorrow, a couple new people checking in. Got Heath with us tonight. Heath Tompkins, nice to see you, Heath. Roger Ball says he got his shirt this week. Good deal. Good. Glad to hear that, Roger. I'm a little disappointed in you guys out there. I haven't got any pictures with anybody actually wearing their shirts yet. Don't be camera shy, guys. We'd like to have some pictures of you guys wearing your shirts. Michael Haston says Little Nelly could be the one that gets thrown across the room. Well, let's hope not, Mike. Anybody has any questions about modeling or anything we did tonight, or anything in general, go ahead and fire those up, guys. I've got Mario Leva. Nice to see you, Mario. Thomas Johnson. Thomas has the comment, you need to spray decal bonder on questionable decals. Yep. You can never tell when they need it or when they don't need it, Thomas. I just kind of took the chance on that one, but it wasn't horrible. I've seen worse. I can remember working on the, what was it, the Vulcan shuttle kit, and I'll talk about bad decals on that one. Those literally were just crumbling to pieces. I mean, even after putting, I heard they were bad before that, so I actually sprayed the decal, or the some lacquer over those, and I wound up working for hours on that to get mine on there. It was like putting together a jigsaw puzzle without the picture. Red Shirt Forever is asking, too bad the shirts don't come in red. You might be able to order them in red, Red Shirt. I'm not sure. You might be able to. They may have a wide variety of colors there. I'm not exactly sure. I think they look best with the either the dark gray or the black. Robert Morris says, would it be better to soak the decals than spraying them? Well, as I mentioned at the start of that, Robert, I used to always soak my decals, but I've been, you know, for the longest time now, probably a couple years now, just spraying them with the water and never have any problems. The reason that I switched to that method is a few times when I had them soaking in the water like that, I forgot about them when I was working on something else, and they came off and they were in there floating around and got all wrinkled up and all that. So now what I like to do is just soak them and put them out on a flat surface there and just wait till they break free on their own and don't have that problem. But everybody has their own way. Patrick Rieger's checking in. Nice to see you, Patrick. Kenneth Zimmerman is asking any news about the well, I think he's asking about the masks. They're not decals, Kenneth. They're masks used for spraying on the talking about the masks for the Enterprise refit model. I haven't heard anything. I just know that he's really close to finishing them up. I'm supposed to be getting him a test set here in the shop any time now, so getting pretty close. Ron Mac 95's checking in. He says they don't make a shirt in his size. Are you sure about that, Ron? I think they have all the sizes there. I'm not sure what size you wear, but they should have all the way up to like XXXL. Stephen Baker checking in. Red Shirt and Cal are at it again. You guys are crack-ups, man. Curtis Williams checking in. Yeah, Leona Timber Company says I should build a 1350 Klingon bird of prey. I need to get around to that, Leona. I've got the kit here. I've got the nice kit too. And that's actually I built a 1350 bird of prey a long time ago, but I didn't. When I painted it, I think I painted the color too dark on it. I never really liked it. I need to go back and redo a new one. There's a lot more. When I built that one, I just put some basic LEDs in it too. There's a lot better LED lighting available, of course, now. And there's some really nice photo etch and all kinds of cool aftermarket parts for it. Mark Buchholz says I did a 350 scale series a while back and would love to see a series on the 1000 scale. Well, you'll see those, Mark. When I get back to it, I'm going to have more videos on the, well, two of the ships anyway, the Battle of the Matara Nebula. I'm building the 1000 refit and the 1000 Reliant. And they're coming along. I've got video in the can. I just got to edit it and get it up on the YouTube channel. I've just been so busy here, and then this week it rained like cats and dogs the whole time. Had a lot of issues to deal with that, and I finished up another client model, another 350 Enterprise. I posted a video about that last night, showing the lighting on that one in some low light. It came out really nice. I'll show some pictuse of that a little bit later. He actually wanted me to weather it like it was weathered on the restoration that they did on the 11-foot model. So we watched that video where they showed the airbrush painting on that, and copied a lot of that on there, and it came out really, really nice. I'll show some pictures of that a little bit later. Gary M. says he's looking for some miniature motors for 1/24 and 1/32 scale aircraft. Gary, I saw some videos out there when I was building my B-17 and my B-29. A couple of guys out there motorized those and had all four engines spinning. And they give some details on their videos about what motors they used. So if you look around a little bit on YouTube, you might be able to find some info on that. Yeah, I think Tag just said here the shirt sizes go up to 5XL. want to thank everybody out there that's ordered their shirts so far. We really appreciate that. We're not making a lot of money on those shirts, guys. We just get a couple dollars a piece, so every one we sell helps a lot. Red Shirt Forever is asking about finishing up the Man in Space kit. We'll work on that one here. Maybe we'll get back to that one next week as well, Red. We're going to start on the Mach 5, so all we have left to build is the Saturn V, and I've already got part of it done. And then we got to build that cardboard gantry that goes with it, so that'll be really cool. And I'll have to try to find a place to put it. Aussie Trekkie's asking how to buy a shirt outside the U.S. without having PayPal. I don't know about that one, Aussie. If you have you gone to that Teespring, gone to their website or used the link on there to see what payment methods they have? I'm not sure. I'm sure they ship internationally and all that. They must have a way. They're a big company. Yeah, DeWitt says I need to finish my Batmobile bat signal. Yeah, I need to do that too, DeWitt. Roger Ball's asking what's the professional side of the model shop working on this week. I'm working on just nothing but enterprise, classic enterprise kits, Roger. I've got 6 of them here in a line with more coming in, and that's pretty much it. The next one I'm going to be finishing here, it's about 3/4 of the way done. I'll show that one to you guys because it's going to be really unique. It's going to be the client on that one wanted some extra lighting done on it. It's not really Canon, but it looks really cool. He wanted some extra strobe lights on it. He wanted the floodlights done on the top of the saucer to show the registry, but it's going to have all Aztec paneling on it too. Not the pearlescent kind, but like he wanted it to look sort of like it did on the high definition, reimagined Star Trek. The new restored version. And so we got a set of masks for that, and we're going to do up all the the paneling on the top and the bottom of the saucer, and then some detail work on paneling on the secondary hull and on the nacelles. And so that one's going to be really cool. It'll look a lot different. There's a video out there from that company QMX where they had done a version of that model, and that's the video that you saw. I think it was on that show Tested that you guys have probably seen, where they have a lot with Adam Savage, and the guy that does all the interviews at the live modeling expos and all that. He interviewed the QMX people, and they showed that ship on there, and he wanted it to look like that. Yes, Heath asks if I use LED strips all the time. Heath, that's like my go-to. Big Stats is asking about the Battlestar Galactica. It's just off the side here for a little while, Big Stats. I've got a little bit more done on it since the last time you saw it, but it's just going through and painting on all the Aztecs paneling right now. Somebody asked a question there about light blocking, I think. It went by pretty fast there. Bill Kittleman, welcome, Bill. Yeah, the guys are pretty much giving you an answer there. What I do is I spray a coat of flat black on the inside of the model, and then I'll cover that with a coat of flat white. And the flat black does most of the blocking. The flat white helps to bounce the light around in there a little bit and make it light all evenly and everything. So you don't have to use a whole lot of lights in there to get it all lit up, especially like on a big part like a saucer or a hull or something on a starship. Some people like to use silver on the inside, but whenever I tried silver, it seemed like the it changed the look of my lighting. Like it made it look almost well, kind of weird, like it was a greenish white, like it was reflecting that silver a little bit. So I stopped using that a long time ago and went to white. You could use Red Shirt says using gloss white, but you could use that. The main reason why I'm using the flat colors is that they dry really, really fast. I can spray a flat black down in there, and with a little bit of help from my heat gun or whatever, I'll have it dry in just a few minutes. The gloss colors, especially if you're, I just use the real cheap paints for the interior light blocking. I'll buy those cans of 99 cents at Home Depot. It doesn't even say what brand it is, I don't think. It just says black or flat black on the can. Like the old generic beer cans where it just says beer. Um, and But it dries really, really fast. If you use the gloss stuff, it dries really slow. So, yeah, that's why I use the flat colors. Kenneth Zimmerman says, when I do a 350 scale kit, do you use an airbrush or spray gun? I use a spray gun, Kenneth. It's a little mini detail gun. It's not as big as a regular gun that you paint a car with, but it's kind of in between that. It's about that big, maybe. Got about a 4 ounce cup on it. Uh, yeah, I don't spray the big models with an airbrush. It just leaves too many streaks. By the time you're trying to cover so much area that by the time you're getting done painting one area, the area that you already started on starting to dry, and it leaves streaks in it. You want to put down one nice, you want a nice wet, even coat on there so it all dries evenly to get a nice smooth finish on it. You can buy those little detail guns, at I just buy them from Harbor Freight. They're like 15, $20. Get your little water trap to put on there. But they won't run off of a regular uh, airbrush compressor. You got to have a regular shop compressor to run them. Rysdom Design is here with us. I'm using duplicolor primers out of a rattle can, Rysdom. I've been using this. The latest one I've been using is called Duplicolor Professional. It's it's really good primer. I've had no problems with it at all. But I pretty much stuck with the Duplicolor line of primers. I was trying some stuff from uh, Walmart for a while. I'm trying to remember that. I think it was called Home Shades. That's actually pretty good too. But my local O'Reilly's Auto Parts store is a lot closer than my next closest Walmart, and the price on them is about the same. So I'm pretty much using only Duplicolor. Outsider 238 says, "What am I going to do if they stop producing the 1350 Enterprise kit? Uh, just build something else." I don't think they're going to stop producing that kit anytime soon, though. That's a really, really popular model. Yeah, T Commando says there's a lot of demand for that kit. Just to give you an example, the original 350 scale Enterprise refit that Polar Lights put out has been in constant production for, I think it's going on over 10 years now. See some of you guys talking about the new CBS Star Trek series. It looks like the fans voiced their opinion on the design of the ship, and I guess what I heard recently is that they're going back and that they're saying now that that is not necessarily the final design. So I think it got to them, guys. They overwhelmingly got shot to pieces on that one. No one cared for that design at all. Good thing it wasn't a $300,000 studio model that they just finished, and it was just a CGI that they threw together real quick. Kenneth Zimmerman has the Iwata IPH 80 mini spray gun for big kits. Yep, that'll work good. George Volkowski's asking about a new helper. There won't be any new helper for a while. I don't have any plans here, George. JD just came along just kind of by chance there because he lives right down the street. Talking to his dad one day, and his dad told, we were talking, and I said I could use some help in the shop, and he said, well, my son's available, so that worked out good. But I'm not advertising. I'm not really going out of my way to try to find anybody at this point. Something comes along, we'll see, but I'm doing just fine here. Phil Connor says he donated the other day to Paul's Project Enterprise. Well, good on you, Phil. I really appreciate that, buddy. I'm supporting that 100%. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Paul and those guys. Still disappointed that they didn't get a chance to work on the 11-foot original model. But if they get to build that ship, I'm telling you, it'll be a sight to behold, guys. It will be the most incredible thing you've ever seen. These guys are the best of the best, and they built the original, which was just a prop basically, and this is going to be built far beyond what that is, because this is going to be an actual display ship, where it's going to have to look good in person. So yeah, the level of detail they're going to put into it, and the interactive display, and I mean it'll just be an awesome project. And if you're one of the lucky ones that gets their name on that scroll or whatever, like Paul was talking about, I could just think that was so cool to have thousands of fans standing there watching your name get fired out of the ship and projected up onto a screen forever. That's just awesome stuff. Bill Kittleman, if you want a t-shirt, you just go to our Model Shop Google page. You're going to have to scroll down a little ways there, but you'll find it. There's a link. There's a post on there about how to order the shirts and where you go to. You just click on that and it'll take you right to their site. Phil Connor, that's great. That's really cool. Yeah, he must have donated to one of the levels where you can get your name on that scroll. Yeah, there's they're doing pretty well on their fundraising. They're a little bit behind the curve, but Paul was telling me that if they get at least half of what they were trying to get, that's going to at least allow them to do some things. And they're working on George Takei, and apparently they were going to be doing Nichelle, George, and Walter were going to be doing a convention together pretty soon. So Nichelle was hopefully going to talk to Walter and George and get those guys on board. They've got Rod Roddenberry on board. So, but George Takei has a massive following of people on social media. If George gets on board with it, starts talking about it, it's gonna snowball like crazy. So it's only a matter of you think about it. There's millions of Star Trek fans, and if each fan only gave like $5, they would blow away the numbers they're trying to reach. So it's just a matter of getting out the word. Got Andrew C that checked in. Sure, I like you, Andrew. I just didn't see you before. Sorry about that. Did Andrew ask a question that I missed? Because don't hold it against me here, guys. Sometimes these questions they roll past so fast, or the names go by so fast that I don't see it. Benny's asking about a link for the enterprise donation. It's on our Google page. Everything that we talk about, pretty much, guys, is over on the Model Shop Google page, the Google community. All the news, all the stuff we talk about, it's all posted over there. You might have to scroll down a little bit. That's the only thing that I hate about the Google layout is that everything's on a scroll. So after it's been there for a little while, it gets flushed down to the bottom. But you can go over there and you can find it. I think Omar posted a link to it. Or I know somebody did. Whoever that was asking about my address, you're gonna have to email me to get that. I'm not gonna put it out on here. Yeah, and Phil Connor says Project Enterprise is also on Facebook. Bill Kidman says, do I have blueprints for wiring a 350 scale ship? No, I don't, Bill. I'm actually working on a build guide for the 350 Classic Enterprise and the 350 Refit Enterprise, and I'll probably have some wiring diagrams in there when I finish those, but it's going to be a while. I only get a little bit of spare time to work on them, and then I've got to send them out to get it edited, and then I've got to find somebody that knows how to convert that all over to put it into a what do you call it, a file that you can use, because I want to put those out as ebooks. I don't want to have them as a hardcover or hardback book. So it's going to be a little while on that. Yeah, Roger Ball, the t-shirt link is on. Now it's on the Model Shop page, guys. Don't go to the TrekWorks Google page. That's just my own. The TrekWorks Google page is like my business page. That's not the Model Shop. The Model Shop Google community is where we put all the stuff related to this show or anything we talk about on there. Yeah, PDF file, Shannon. That's what I was trying to say. Put it out in PDF format. Yeah, they'll take donations as little as $10, I think, or $5, whatever anybody can do. You don't have to give the $100 like a lot of people think. Like I said, if just even if just a couple hundred people put in $5 a piece, it'd make a huge difference. And I wanted to mention that Paul told me to. I got an email from Paul, and Paul wanted me to personally thank everybody that donated after seeing the video that we showed a couple weeks ago. He saw a nice little uptick in the donations after that, so that comes directly from him, guys. I'll have him back on here again in the not-too-distant future to give us some updates on what's going on. I'm working on a couple of, trying to get him on a couple radio shows that I know about, and maybe he can get out the word with those too. Yep. It's hopefully, in the next year they'll be able to get it done, because those guys aren't getting any younger, and it'll take a while to build the model. Like Paul said, it'll probably take a year and a half just to get it built. So because it's not only going to be the ship, it's going to be the display that goes with it. It's going to be motorized. This thing's going to be on an armature that moves, that the ship can turn and bank and do all kinds of cool stuff. I think if you go to Paul's website, you can see there's some graphics they have over there that shows the concept of how this is going to look. It's got a really cool observation platform that you stand on, and the model is kind of down in there, and there's a completely surround screen that goes around it. Because as Paul was talking about, Richard Taylor is is working on, like, these days he's working like on that 4K technology they call it, the interactive 4K viewing experience. And so he's going to be in charge of doing all the visuals for the model. And let's not forget Richard Taylor worked on Tron. So Richard Taylor is going to come up with something really cool for that model when it's on display, guys. You can just bet on it. These guys, I think people have no idea how good these guys really are, and they're going to be blown away when this thing comes out. George Vilkowski says, was the soundboard I used on the Enterprise I just finished mine? Yes, it is, George, and I do have them available. All you have to do is email me. It's info@trekworks.net. Yep, we're still hoping that we get to pull off our 8-footer here, guys. As far as I know, it's still on track. I've been trying to, get that rushed along as much as I can, but I'm only on the receiving end here. And as I've said several times, I was saved a lot of money by going the route that I did, but I knew I was going to have to be really patient. I didn't have the money to spend $30,000 on getting a professional, high end or big name company that could do the molds and everything, from scratch. That's the problem, going from scratch. There's no existing molds. If there were molds out there already and you just mold the parts, and it'd be a way different story. But this whole project was basically done from scratch. So from what I understand, the only thing that's left is the neck, and I saw some pictures of the neck pretty much done. There was just some minor detail work they were doing on it, fixing some of the panel lines, and then the master mold will be ready, and then it's off to the races after that. There's a couple people ahead of me that are going to be getting their parts first, but fingers crossed here, guys. Hopefully it doesn't crater on us right at the end. Thomas Johnson says about a dual build of the hood and the Bismarck and 200 scale. Thomas, I'd love to. I'm actually going to get the Bismarck kit fairly soon here. And of course, those are the two ships that I want to do, the Bismarck and the hood. So maybe sometime over the winter. They are definitely on my bucket list. Then I just have to figure out a place to try to put them. My biggest issue right now, guys, is place to put models. I am really starting to hurt in that area. I'm just about completely out of shelf space now. One of the things that I'm thinking about doing, it just depends on how well my business goes, if I can raise the money, but I might convert this area in here into a, remove the garage door. A lot of the houses in this neighborhood have already had it done. We've never parked our cars in the garage anyway, so we might do like a carport out front, and I might come in here, and I have some friends in the construction business. We might come in here and finish off this whole garage and make this into a big livable room, and I'll have a massive display room for all my models that I could probably take me years to fill it all up. And instead I'll build a little get one of those little prefab buildings and set that up in the backyard. I've got a big backyard, and use that for my building facility, and because I don't need a lot of room to build, and in fact it'd be kind of nice to design that from the ground up as a with a built-in bench and all that, and a spray booth, and have that in my backyard, and then I could turn this room out here into a huge display area. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. But I got to raise the funds to do that, so I'm going to have to work pretty hard building these models here to get afford doing that. Phil Connor says, whatever became of your looking for another location for your shop? Well, it's still on my wish list, Phil. Right now, talking it over with my wife and everything, it's better off just staying here because I don't have the overhead. I don't have to worry about security. I don't have to drive anywhere. I've got enough space in here to work and everything. So the goal eventually, like if the business builds itself up to that point, I'd love to have a little shop in the back where I did the work and a display area out in front and do a little bit of retail sales out in front. Sell kits, sell aftermarket parts and things like that. And the market certainly supports it here. Here in San Antonio, our hobby shops do pretty well, but it's just more economical for me to, not jump too far ahead of myself here. The business is good. I mean, I'm getting a steady flow of work coming in. A lot of the other guys that do this would kill to have the work that I have coming in here. So I feel really fortunate to at least have that. So that's the good thing. I think it's because my prices are fairly reasonable. Some of these guys out there that do this are their pricing. And I don't blame them. I mean, if they can get that much for what they're doing, that's great. But it puts it out of the range of a lot of people. So mine are more of in a range where they're not the cheapest ones around, but they're in a range where a lot of people can afford them. So we're doing great on that end. I have more work than I can keep up with. I have to turn away a lot of work because I don't want to make somebody wait 6 months to get their model. So what I'll do is build for a little while until I get about a month or two away, or a month and a half or so, and then I'll kind of take on more orders. But I'm getting constant requests on the email. I average 20 or 30 requests a week. And for right now, I'm just sticking to building the classic 350 Enterprise. That I've gotten where I can do those in a fairly timely manner. They go together so nice and everything. I really, people have been asking about the refit and all that. I get probably 10 requests for every 10 requests for the refit versus 3 of the classic ship. But every one of the people that wants the refit wants all the Aztecs painted on and everything. And they don't realize it takes 3 or 4 months to do that. And if you want to do it right, you can't do that job fast. And then what I charge is all based on time. I can't work on something for 4 months and sell it for $1,000. I mean, break that down. How much would you be making an hour? It wouldn't even be $2 an hour. I can't live like that. So the reality sinks in with some of my potential customers. I don't think they have any idea how long stuff like this takes to build. To do it right, I mean, you can take shortcuts and stuff like that, but I just don't believe in doing that. So it's a constant learning process. When you go into this business, you learn. I've made some adjustments as I've gone along, because you have to base it on time and everything. You can't give your stuff away, but you can't charge too much either. It's a fine balance. Okay, guys. Well, we've been on here for quite a while. Coming up on 2 hours, it looks like. If anybody has any final questions here, fire them off. Otherwise, we're going to call this one a wrap again, guys. We're getting, we mentioned this more and more now, but we're getting closer and closer to episode 100. And I wanted to mention tonight, too, if anybody has any ideas or comments or suggestions about what you'd like to see on the show, leave those leave a comment over on the, either on the video itself here after it's played, or over at our Google community. If there's a particular kit maybe you guys would like to see me build. Now, keep in mind, guys, we can't do kits that are going to take 3 months to finish. We can't do a refit. We can't do stuff like that. Smaller kits, because people will lose interest in it, guys. We have to be able to finish it in a couple of episodes or so at the most. So keep that in mind. But if there's certain kits out there you guys would like to see built, or technique to show, or something like that, leave a comment on the video, or over on the Google page, and we'll try our best to accommodate you here. That's what we're here to do. Bill Kittleman says, are they coming out with new movie Enterprises in 1/350 scale? Well, I heard they're coming out. Mobius Models got the license for the the rebooted series, the J.J. Abrams models. I have no idea what scale they're going to be in. I think it's too early yet to know. They just now got the licensing, so it's going to be a while before before the kits come out, you know. But just keep your word out around or your ear open around the modeling community, and word will start leaking out about what they're going to do. Mike Kovac is working on the Mobius flying sub with the mini sub and diving bell. That's cool, Mike. I'm assuming that's the kit that came. Those are the same little models that come with the big Seaview kit, but they sell them separately. Cal is asking, how did I get all the tunics painted to match on the Star Trek figures? I just mix it all up by eye, Cal. I just looked at them, and for instance, on the yellow, or on Kirk's tunic, I just took some yellow, mixed in a little bit of like tan, or more like almost like a burnt brown, if you want to call it, like a medium brown, and got that color. And on the blue, I just mixed in a little bit of. I started off with a kind of a medium blue, put a little bit of white, and then just a couple drops of black to get that. It's actually almost the same duck egg blue color that I use on the accent colors on the Enterprise refit. And Scotty's shirt was just regular standard medium red. I didn't have to mix any color. I had a color right out of the bottle that I used for that one that looked good. Yeah, on the box art, they had Spock's uniform shirt looking like way darker than McCoy's, but to me, when I watched the show, they always looked like they were the same color. I preferred the way they looked in the first season, that kind of velour look that they had. The ones that were shorter too. I didn't like them once they start pulling them down, past their waist and all that. I thought they looked like spandex or something, kind of. You could see Kirk's girdle underneath of it. Randy Gagliano says if my work was indexed. Randy, I just recently went through, I spent several hours doing it. I went through my entire video list and put everything in playlists on my YouTube channel. So pretty much everything. Now individual little ones here and there that I just did one or two videos on may not be, but all the ones that I did like kind of a build guide, like the refit and some of the others, the flying sub, some of a bunch of them that were on there. Those are all in organized into playlists now, and they'll play automatically in order. I set them up so that they play the first one I published, and then it follows through to the finale, not backwards. So. Gary Jacquard, I think he might be new. Nice to have you with us, Gary. Yeah, Armando, it took me a few hours. I think it's about 500 videos, so it took me a few hours to go through there and clean them all up. Quite a few people have requested that. You can go in there and you can set them on chronological order or date published, and there's a few options. And when I hit the date published, it automatically shuffled them and put them all, so that when, like if you click on to play the first one in the series, it'll play them in order, one after the other, if you have autoplay turned on your viewer. Okay, everybody. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. Thanks for everybody stopping by. Galaxy Stranger, nice to see you here. I think you just checked in. Galaxy Stranger 01. So we're going to call this show a wrap, guys. We'll be back next week with 95. Remember, we're going to start on the Speed Racer kit. Maybe I'll think of something else in between then. We've got the James Bond Little Nelly that Airfix kit that we've got here that you guys voted on a while back. And so we'll get those cranked up, and then we'll come up with some new stuff in between. So hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like what you saw, guys. We really appreciate that. And thanks so much for joining us. Try to stay dry out there, everybody. We're getting hammered here, but I think it's coming to an end. I think we're going to have some clear weather this week, and we're having some nice cool weather out of it. That's the only good thing about it. So you guys take care out there. Build a model this week, and keep those pictures coming, guys. We got just about enough for another slideshow. I'd like to get another one put together. We'd like to try to do one of those at least once a month. And you guys do a great job keeping up. I know you got to build a lot of models so we can have pictures, but send us what you can, guys. Even if it's not done, it doesn't have to be done. It's in progress. That's fine. So send them to info@trekworks.net. We'll get something put together. We got Derek Sabora that checked in too. Nice to see you, Derek. Stephen Baker, a couple more guys checking in. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Good night, everyone, and happy modeling.